right now with everything, with the industry being so splintered, and in particular, there was already this idea out there that rock is dead, quote unquote. How do you feel about that expression? What are your thoughts on that?
I just saw this interview where Gene Simmons was saying he's been saying rock is dead, and it's because kids aren't buying records, and he's got a point for sure. People don't buy records anymore. I mean, because of the internet, it's easy to not pay for music, and that's been happening for a long time. I mean, it's been happening since Lars Ulrich was complaining about Napster giving their records away for free. People complained about him complaining about Napster giving their stuff away free. Like, here's a rich rock star complaining, basically. But he was right. And Gene is, to an extent. Musicians notoriously have always not gotten paid, unfortunately. But I mean, I don't know, kids still listen to rock music. You can go into Target and buy a Rolling Stones t-shirt, that's it's still kind of ingrained, in our culture. So I don't think it's going to go away. And then also, even though, we don't get paid that much for music anymore, Bob Dylan just sold his entire catalog for $300 million. So, that tells you something, It's not just some rich guy collecting a song catalog, I mean, music still has its worth, it's just we'll have to basically reinvent the wheel on how things work,
I think rock's importance in society is very much still there. It's just, I feel like it's for whatever reason, I mean, there's multiple reasons, but I feel like for a younger band, it's going to become a lot more difficult to have that sort of mainstream attention the way it was before.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be a lot more hard work. Fortunately, there's people will still want to see live music, especially when this whole pandemic thing is over. I think people will be super starved for it. And I mean, that's, with us, a big chunk of what our money and how we make money is going out and playing live shows. You can't quite download a live show. Not yet.
That's an important point you made, because so many artists I've spoken to have made that exact point that, even if the internet has destroyed the business in a certain way, you can't kill live music. That's always going to be a thing people want to see. So I feel like in that regard, rock's always going to be kicking,
In some form or another, but definitely, it'd be really hard to be starting a new band and trying to make a living at it,
I feel like the one exception to that right now is Greta Van Fleet. Like, it's cool to see a young band really take off and be successful. So hopefully more bands like that can come. That'd be really cool.
I think so. I mean, my daughter's 15, and though I've probably had some influence on what she listens to, I mean, she's discovered plenty of stuff on her own, Nirvana being one of them, because believe it or not, I don't really listen to a lot of Nirvana in the house, I mean, being so close to it and everything. So, but she discovered that on her own. And from that, as she likes a lot of like interesting rock music,
Yeah, no, for sure. And one of the things, Steve Albini and I had a conversation about this about 2 years ago, I think now. And one of the things that Steve mentioned is that, there's two big positives about the internet, the way it's structured. It's one, you can find any kind of rock music you want to anywhere.
Yeah.
And two, even though the current structure has made it a little bit more difficult in certain ways for bands to get paid, it actually has, in his view, created avenues of revenue that didn't exist before. So if a band is business savvy, in his view, they can actually succeed very well today. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that, I think they'll still have to be somewhat working class, though, as far as, like I said, touring and things like that, or really creative on what they're selling, because I mean, it's got to be something that people want, that's something they can hold, like with us, we make a lot of handmade products, records, a lot of specialty records that we do our own printing for and manufacturing of, more like and it's limited, so it's more like a piece of art, I think that's one way that you can get away with doing something nowadays, but you really got to do it yourself, and it is a lot of hard work, Not everybody's going to want to do it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Even right now, like trying to build this YouTube channel, it's a ton of work. But you know what? The cool thing is, like, it's easy to complain, but we at least have the opportunity to go out there and put out whatever we want to nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not obliged to do what a manager wants me to do. I just go out there and do it.
Yeah. Yes. You know, I mean, yeah, I think there is still a way to do it yourself, you know? That's the best thing. Be your own boss, you know?